Day and Rashada this week. It's been a super drama-filled week. We are the Florida Gators. I do think we're going to be okay. It's not the end of the world. Everybody's got different takes. You got some positive, some negative out there. I've got some people on my show that agree with me, and then I got some that disagree. I think everything lies somewhere in the middle. I still love Billy Napier. I still love the hire. I love the staff. I do think there's going to be some staff changes come next year because I do think there's some dead weight recruiting-wise. Piegler at tight end, and still kind of questionable with Jaluk until we land a running back. But I still like Jaluk. We're gonna find out Thursday when Trayon Webb's supposed to commit. Guys, if we don't get Trayon Webb this Thursday, that's a big miss. He's been on campus like 20 times. I like the kid as a prospect. He's not a home run. He's not a 5-star, but he's a solid back. Hey, what's up, Zach? I really hope we land Webb on Thursday. Got Will Norman coming up. A couple prospects this month are talking about committing. LeBlanc is talking about the end of July making a commitment. He's another kid who's been on Florida's campus several times, somebody we should not whiff on. So a lot of guys out there, there's still some good prospects. I do think this defensive line class is going to be one of the best we've had since Dante Fowler and those guys. So a lot of good prospects coming up, making commitments. Defense side of the ball looks like it's going to be pretty good still. I'm kind of changing my expectations for the class as a whole. Probably going to end up somewhere between, 10 to 15, would be a realistic expectation. There's really not a quarterback out there now that's not already committed somewhere. I think the next highest rated quarterback was like a 3-star at 675 in the country. Not a lot of guys out there. I do think that's a big miss on Rashada because if you think about it, we got Anthony Richardson. He's on borrowed time, guys. Probably another year. He's going to play next season, and then he's out the door. He's going to the NFL. So missing on a quarterback in this class, I think, really does hurt. What is that? Can be great on defense. Yes, absolutely. The offense isn't going to be a high-flying, high-scoring offense. I do think we'll put points up. We got the talent to do that. But I think we're going to be a defensive, grinded-out team, kind of like some of them old-school Alabama teams, run the ball, Derrick Henry. Hopefully we can get some backs like that in Florida. But anyway, so, again, I think it's not just the staff that's the problem. I think it's the administration, the commitment. Florida's got the money. I've heard some stuff out there about the collective as a whole being dysfunctional. There was some stuff out there about that. You've got Derek Heitner, the attorney with Florida. He graduated from UF, and it seems like he's kind of working both sides of the fence. He's kind of out there with some guys that are recruits going to other schools, and then some guys with Florida. I don't really like that. I think the collective, I know they don't want boosters involved, but I would love for somebody to get involved that's like a booster from the school running the Gator Collective instead of an attorney. Obviously you're going to need legal advice for something like that, but the guy that I heard's running the Gator Collective is literally like somebody like us, guys, like somebody off the streets that's just some dude that's like, yo, I'm about to pocket some money, make some profits on this thing. I think that the Gator Collective needs to be literally torn down and revamped. They're just taking people's money at $9.99 or like minimum $10 a month. Where's the results, guys? You know what I mean? We're out here trying to get recruits. People are spending their hard-earned money on this, and it's not working out. So, there's the NIL issues. Okay, yeah. So, again, I think it's an administration issue. It's a commitment to football that just hasn't been there for years with UF. I also believe there is a divide because Scott Strickland was on the Gator Nation podcast. This has been probably, like a month ago. He got on there and he said, guys, we're not going to get into bidding wars with other schools, which is what we literally just got out of with Rashada. But he was saying, we're going to go by the book. We're basically going to be goody two-shoes. We're not going to break any rules or do anything that we think could be breaking the rules down the road, which I think is negatively affecting Florida right now. I think we're scared to make the commitment. I think we're scared to cross any lines that could become, NCAA rules at some point because we're afraid of the, repercussions of that. But so I think there's just that divide there where the administration's, pulling back on things a little bit, And then I don't think there's obviously not any communication with the Gator Collective in Florida and the staff. I think they need to have some better communication there, because that was one of the things that was brought up, was the dysfunction with the Gator Collective. So I think there needs to be some kind of middleman to make sure everybody's on the same page. All this is a little shocking to me because Billy Napier's out there, this meticulous guy, taking notes all the time, talking about, you know, how he notices and picks up every little detail of everything and wants to be a perfectionist. It's just not showing up. It's not translating. So there's something missing there. And if you guys got opinions on that, I would love to hear it. There's definitely something that's not right, but there's some mix of communication between the staff, the collective, and the administration. We're just not clicking right now at recruiting. There's so many kids that have been on campus. I mean, some of these kids over a dozen times have come to Florida, said Florida's their outright leader and they love the Gators, their dream school, all this stuff, and rave reviews about the staff. And yet you got them, you know, blindsiding the staff, committing to another school. All of a sudden, Crystal Ball's coming in for Baxter, you know, Webb to Penn State. The stuff's just not adding up. There's some kind of disconnect there. A little worried about Trayon Webb this Thursday going to Penn State. He did get several crystal balls to go there. I think even his dad came out on Twitter and had some beef with Florida fans or something like that, which, again, that's being overly sensitive. Every fan base, I mean, we all know how terrible Tennessee fans are. They're some of the worst, and you know, I'm friends with some people that are Alabama fans, and every fan base has unrealistic fans. They have fans that are just hateful, that just spill out vile stuff online that's just unnecessary. It's a game at the end of the day. It's a sport we all love to watch, that we're passionate about. That stuff is just, it's crap. It's not necessary. It's not needed. But anyway, you know, for the most part, I think Gator Nation is a great fan base. We're fully supportive of this staff. We're fully supportive of our Gator football team. And I think that fans need to just block out the negative, or not fans, but these prospects and their parents. They just need to, you know, see the support that they have. You get on board with Gator Nation, come to a game, you're going to be with 90,000 people screaming your name. And I think they're just, you know, they're looking at some troll on Twitter. I mean, to me, that's just an excuse. I don't buy that. You didn't want to come to Florida in the first place if you're letting some guy out there, you know, that's spilling some hateful stuff, steer you to another school. It just doesn't make sense, because I guarantee there's a fan for Tennessee or Miami that's just as bad as the worst of any Gator fan. I'm going to read some of the comments here. What's the Mustang school? Get some of y'all's comments and see what I got. This is the first time I've gone live, so I'm still trying to figure this out. There we go. So, Rodriguez, yeah, seems to be a gap somewhere. Seems like our recruiting efforts are a world better now, but something doesn't add up. Yeah, again, I mean, Billy Napier's super charismatic. I think he's a good recruiter. I do believe before the whole NIL thing that he would be crushing it right now. I just think that NIL has just messed everything up. I think they really are blindsided by a lot of what's going on. They're still trying to figure things out on the fly. But I do believe they'll get it figured out. You know, I'm a big proponent of the bump class historically, how important this class is. Again, the quarterback thing concerns me with Anthony Richardson. He's going to be leaving next year, probably going to the NFL. So I feel like we're going to have to hit the transfer portal for a quarterback, guys. I think that's going to be a must-have, is to land somebody there. And we're probably going to have to pay up to get them. 2024 is a must. We're going to have to get an elite quarterback prospect in 2024 to set up that depth chart for years to come, the next 2 to 3 years. Because once he's gone, I mean, guys, Jack Miller's not the answer. I mean, I've seen enough of him just in the spring game and from reports of practice that he was never really pushing Anthony, which is probably hard to do anyways because he's an incredible talent. But, you know, there's just nobody on the roster. I mean, literally, I don't know how Jaden Rashada couldn't have come to Florida. He literally would be the day one starter, almost guaranteed at Florida once everybody left. So, again, that blows my mind. I still don't get that. I just want to give my feelings on everything on here that's going on with recruiting and NIL. But yeah, so Trayon Webb's the next one on Thursday, guys. Eugene Wilson's another one. He was supposed to pull the trigger, I heard, last weekend, but maybe July 4th this weekend. Look out for him. He's on commitment watch. I do think we might land Eugene Wilson. I kind of have him as a lock. I think he will be picking the good guys coming to the Gators. And I don't know why. I just have this feeling. I think we're still going to end up with Trayon Webb. I still think the staff is going to get the job done. They'll close on him, which would be a huge pickup. We got to get the momentum back in our favor, y'all. And I'm hoping that maybe the next probably safest bet is for this staff to figure the NIL stuff out, reach out to another quarterback who's committed, maybe the guy that committed to what's the school that he committed to that we were talking about going after. Arkansas's got a guy out there, I think it's Singleton, who's committed. He's a quarterback that we might go after. And then Logan or Lonergan, I think he's from Jacksonville. He's another guy I think we might circle back around on and pick up. So there's still some guys out there. Again, they're all committed to somebody else, but I really think it would be nice to get a high school kid. I'm not, transfers aren't the greatest. They're just, it's patchwork at best. Every now and then you'll get an elite transfer. But most of the transfers out there are another Jack Miller, just somebody who's a depth piece on the roster. So I don't really like the transfer thing. I think it's super risky. Why didn't they start at the school they were at to begin with? Every now and then you've got special circumstances, but usually those guys are not starting at their original school for a reason. So yeah, again, recruiting's got to change. I do think Billy will get it done. He'll get this figured out, guys. So I appreciate y'all getting on here and supporting me. Go Gators.